What is going on, YouTube? And hello to all my Animaniacs out there. This is Anime Boom Boom 96 here, and welcome to a very special Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And before I start the video, of course, hope you guys are having a great day today. First of all, I want to say that today is Golden Week. We have some new banners that just dropped. Hopefully your summons went good. Hope you guys are saving up for part 2. We also have the 9-year anniversary coming up in a few months. But with that out of the way, today I want to do something a little special with you guys. Now, a lot of you know, or some of you have seen on my posts on social media, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I am a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, let alone the Dragon Ball series in general. But I know that a lot of people have been asking, Anime, how did you get into Dokkan Battle? Who got you into Dokkan Battle? What are your favorite units? What units you don't like? What is your least favorite? What's your favorite team, kid, build, all that good stuff. So today, I'm gonna let you guys dive into my love for Dokkan Battle. So the first thing I want you guys to know is that Dokkan Battle was new to me back when it came out in 2015. And I didn't know a lot about Dokkan Battle at the time, but I did know that it was starting to become a big thing. So here's the story about how I got into it. Back in 2015, I had an old buddy of mine. I'm not gonna say names because I don't want to mention people's names on my channel. I had an old friend of mine. We used to be friends, but not anymore. He introduced me to Dokkan Battle. I remember one time we were hanging out at a Starbucks around my area, and he told me, "Hey, Anime, there's this new game that came out on mobile. It's called Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, really?" And he said, "Yeah, it's so cool. It has crossovers. It has all this cool stuff." So at the time, he had the JP version and the global version of Dokkan Battle. But the way I got introduced to it was that he let me play the JP version of Dokkan while we were hanging out. And I said, "Dude, this game is cool." And he told me, "Yeah, you should download it on your phone, try it out, and see if you like it." Now, before... the funny thing is that before I even had my new Android phone, my Samsung Galaxy S25e, I had this really old Samsung Galaxy phone with, excuse my language, crappy internet. Crappy storage, like memory storage. And I remember at the time, Dokkan Battle was such a fat file that I had to delete 3 mobile games just to get it in there. And I remember at the time, when I first started playing Dokkan Battle, I believe it was around the 3 or 4, maybe it was the 5-year anniversary. Somewhere around one of the previous anniversaries. And I remember the very first card I got in Dokkan Battle. I remember I was so happy to get this card, even before he had his Easy A. The very first card I had was the GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku that came out during that time period. This was before he was pre-Easy 8 at the time. And I remember being so hyped, and I was telling my friend, "Oh dude, check out my cards." And then he tells me, "Yeah, check out some of the anniversary cards I got." And I'm like, "Damn, man." So I remember I was on the grind, and I told Dokkan on one of his live streams that When I first played Dokkan Battle, I remember spending over 1,000 stones throughout the first period of Dokkan Battle trying to get some of the LRs during that anniversary, and I was in deep deep. And since then, I've been a huge fan of Dokkan Battle, and I loved it since. I also remember when the JP version of Dokkan Battle was still new, that the only way you could get it was that you had to go to another website, download the JP version through another website, and then you could install it on your phone, which at the time was the only way you could play the JP version. But at the same time, that means your phone would get a virus and you wouldn't even be able to play at all. And the one thing that I hated so bad, and you guys can leave this in the comment section if you hated this, was when Dokkan Battle had an update and my crappy phone didn't have enough memory for it. And it broke my heart when I had to uninstall the game and I lost everything. I lost my rank, I lost my cards, I lost the grind that I put into it. And it wasn't until I saw the new update where you could sign in with your email account that the game saves your file. And if you have a new phone and if you re-download Dokkan, you could transfer said file to your game. And it's kind of funny because my older brother would tell me, dude, what would happen if you didn't have that feature and if Dokkan Battle had you restart? I told him straight up, I wouldn't even touch Dokkan Battle again at that point. Because it's like, man, screw this. Why am I going to bust my butt off again if I'm just going to lose everything? So that's how I got introduced to Dokkan Battle. That's how I got into it. But now, to answer all your questions, Anime, what are your favorite teams and your favorite cards to use? Now, I've seen people use a huge variety of characters and cards to build their team. I've seen people use extreme class units, super class units, a mixture of both. I've seen the Masked Ningen, Radakan, Gorish, DBZ Blaze, Brutal Chaos, Kensei, and a bunch of other guys use different categories. But for me, personally, my favorite team to use and my favorite class to use would be the super class. As you guys can see, I am a huge super class type user when it comes to Dokkan Battle. I'm a huge super class type user when it comes to Dokkan Battle. Whether it's for a certain category, for a certain team, a certain leader, whatever you guys want to call it, I am a huge super class type user. Now, I'm not saying that I don't use extreme class units, because obviously I do have some extreme class units within my team. Here's a perfect example. I have Kid Buu and Ultimate Buhan, who just had his Easy A this week. And I also have LR Golden Frieza and the physical Golden Frieza. So I like using extreme units too, but I lean more towards the super class units because to me, using super class type units are more comfortable and more easy for me to use rather than the extreme types, because in certain cases there's some units that I like using, but there's certain units I can't use because they're absolute rubbish. Like, I can't even go 1 minute within the Dokkan event without any of these guys getting one-shotted. And I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. This is my movie bosses category team. Before I had this Easy A transforming Super Broly from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, I had LR Janemba as the leader. And guys, let me tell you, when I had LR Janemba on my team for movie bosses, my God, he was terrible. He couldn't notify a super, he didn't dodge, he didn't have damage reduction, and not only that, but the team that I was running, they would get one-shot on events that weren't even that difficult for the time that the newer content came out. And then I started seeing people having Final Form Cooler, the LR Metal Cooler, the Final Form Cooler, the STR Easy A Cooler, which I actually have on my team. And I was like, man, I wish I had those cards. But now since I have the Easy A Super Broly, I can use my movie bosses team when my movie boss team category when an event needs it. But the teams that I prefer to use, and again, this is just me as a Dokkan player, I love using super class type units. Whether it's LR Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, the LR God Boys, the LR God Blue Goku and Vegeta from the worldwide download celebration. Any card that's a super class unit, I personally use them. And I'm gonna show you guys something that's gonna surprise you. As you can see, this is the majority of super class allies that I have collected over the years. Some of them were free, some of them were from banners, some of them were from events, and some of them were from the previous years of Dokkan Battle before the updates happened. Now, if we go to the extreme class units, as you can see, I have a very fair amount of extreme class units. Again, some of them were free to play, some of them were from banners, some of them were from worldwide celebrations, from anniversary banners, and from all that good stuff. But as you can see, I barely use any of these guys. And the only time I do use them is when either, again, if I'm doing an event that needs extreme class units, or that requires me to mix up my team, or if I'm doing, let's say, the World Tournament, because I know a lot of people hate the World Tournament grind, and I just want to get it done with, I just use an extreme class unit that can one-shot everybody. Like the ultra rare Majin Buu Good, for example. So with that being said, now I know what you guys are asking. Anime, what are your favorite cards and units that you have in the game? Now normally, I can name a list of all my favorite units, but it's hard for me to pick my top favorite because there's so many good ones. But I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 favorite super class units, my top 5 favorite super class unit and least favorite. And for the extreme class units, I'm going to give you my top 5 favorites and my least 5 favorites. So for the super class, my top 5 favorites are, my first top favorite is My first favorite class unit is the LR Future Trunks from the worldwide download celebration. I remember last year when I got this card, I was so hyped because of his domain active skill and the fact that he is a tank when it comes to him super attacking any future class enemy or having a future class ally increase his attack and stats within the few turns. My second favorite card is the 7-year anniversary Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta that turns into Gogeta, and the Super Saiyan God Blue God Boys. Now the reason why I love both these cards is because when they're on a fusion team, my God, they can cook. Depending on what kind of event they're in, of course. I remember when I did their showcase, they were cooking insane in the Red Zone Cooler event. And let me tell you, with those two on your team, especially with the number 4 card, that's my favorite. You guys are gonna love them. My fourth favorite would have to be the LR Super Saiyan God Blue Goku and Vegeta from the Future Samazu Saga. I remember when I had him working with the God Boys, these guys were cooking like crazy. The damage reduction's insane, the dodge mechanics insane, and I love the special artwork that they put into this guy. Now, my number 1 favorite unit of all time, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but again, this is my personal opinion. If you have your opinion, leave it in the comment section. My favorite unit of all time is the LR UI Master Ultra Instinct Goku. This card came in clutch for me when I needed him to. I think it was one of the events I was doing. I think it was the accelerated battle or something. But I remember this card came in clutch for me, and he's a good unit to run if his dodge mechanic works. But not only that, he has a revive mechanic that I didn't even know about until I saw it. The only thing I hated was that you had to wait until 13 turns, I believe, in order for his revive mechanic to work. But this unit right here, mwah, I love this unit. Not just because I'm a huge Goku fan and a Dragon Ball fan, but I love this unit so much that I would put him with my top 5. Now, my top 5 ultra rare units that I like. At number 5, we gotta go with a card that is very underrated, but this unit, to me personally, this unit was so good that he literally helped me beat my run, my Planet Namek Saga run, and that is this Easy A STR Super Saiyan 2 Team Gohan. This Gohan right here was the Gohan that helped me beat Frieza in the Dragon Ball Battle Collection event on Planet Namek when I was doing my run. I got so scared thinking he was gonna get one-shotted, but he actually finished off Frieza for me. Such a great card. Obviously, with the current meta and today's Dokkan battle events, he's not gonna be good in certain events, but to me personally, he is a really great card, and I like having him on the team. Let me switch to OST really quick for you guys. Give me a second. Okay. My next favorite card would have to be the Saiyan Day Super Saiyan 2 Goku that transformed into Super Saiyan 3 from the Majin Buu saga. I remember when I had this card, when I got this card, I was so hyped and excited to see what he can do. And when I took him out to give him a test run, my God, he was a beast. He stunned, he had damage reduction, he dodged, his defense was good, his super attack was good. This guy was cooking on all cylinders. And of course, obviously, we have my top 2 favorite. To me, my top 2 favorite would have to be the Ultra Rare Super Saiyan 2 Kefla with her Easy A, the physical one, and the STR Kefla, which I'm going to do a showcase for on my next video. Now, my least favorite units to use on a team would have to be this guy. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is not really, I want to say, the best unit to use. Specifically because with the Tech Gogeta, he is 100 times better than the Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And the reason why I say that is because I had Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on a team once, the Int one on a team, and he got one-shotted immediately and barely even did nothing. While the Tech Gogeta has his dodge mechanic, and he survived the events that I put him through. Now, one of my other least favorite units to use would be the Tech Kel and Caulifla that turns into Kefla. And the reason why I say that is because I had them on the Cooler Red Zone event, and they got one-shotted by Cooler immediately. They didn't dodge, they didn't evade the super, and it literally ruined my whole run. So I had to switch them out for a unit that did better. Now, for my top 5 favorite Extreme Class units, I don't really have a top 5 favorite because, like I said, I don't really use extreme type units that much. But if I had to pick my top 5 personal favorite Extreme Class units, I would say the Final Form Easy A Cooler, Lags, Full Power Frieza from the Planet Namek Saga, who's going to be getting his Easy A soon, LR Majin Buuhan, who has his Easy A, and one of my personal favorites to use in an event would have to be the Tech Android 17 and 18, considering that they can notify supers, they could block supers, and they have the ability to attack more than once when they're going up against a future Saga or Goku class ally. Now, my least favorite LRs would have to be, my personal opinion, my least favorite extreme type units to use is the STR Majin 21. From what I understand, DBZ Blaze says she could be good, but I did use her once and I didn't really like the way how her mechanic works, let alone I didn't like the fact that when she turns Majin, she becomes weaker. So that's a flaw that I don't want to have on my team. My other least favorite is the STR Transforming Buu. And the reason why I say STR Transforming Buu is not that good is because by the time I want to get him to, let's say, Boo Piccolo, he gets one shot immediately during the tougher events in the current meta. And I don't want a card that gets one shotted immediately during those events. As for my final three, I would have to say my least favorite extreme type units would have to be this Tech Broly. He's really not that good. I would also have to say that this Merge Zamasu is a pretty decent unit, but I just wish that they could have done more for him. Either that or I haven't fully gotten easy aid, so I had to work on that more. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below to let me know what's your favorite unit, what cards you guys like to use, what event you want me to try these units on, and I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Anime Boo Boo 96 saying peace. I'm out.